totally crooked.
Switch over to me more. Just on that edge, maybe. That's better. Tilt it down towards you a little more.
We're gonna have to squish into the middle.
Well, we definitely have enough room. It's just that it's off kilter a bit. Now I gotta fix that screen on the other side. I don't like that you can see the screen not finished. You have to go to the middle more. That's better. That's better. You can come a little closer.
So can you?
Oh, it's recording?
Yes.
All right. So we'll have to edit this part out. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not gonna have this part in. Hi, everybody. See what I'm saying? All right, go.
Oh, now I'm gonna start?
No, I will. Hello, everybody. So, welcome to our brand new podcast called The Yarn Room Shenanigans. My name is Gayle, and
My name is Laura.
yeah, we've been friends for
20 years?
yeah, probably 20 plus years, and we've been knitting for. Well, I've been knitting. I hate to say this, but I've been knitting for, oh my gosh, 60 plus years. And you, Laura?
I've probably been, well, I've been knitting since I was maybe like 7 or 8, so
And that you're 75.
yeah, right. No,
She's not.
She's lying. So I've probably been knitting for like maybe, 50 plus years as well.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I'm in my 60s.
Yeah, me too. Oh well.
So
Yeah. So welcome. We're
this
kind
is
of
our first podcast.
our very first. We're very excited. We've been wanting to do this for some time now.
And talking about it for a long time.
Yes, and we finally had our friend Justine come over and help us.
Because we are very technically challenged,
Yes.
as you might already recognize.
Yes.
So you're gonna have to bear with us until we get our feet on our
Under us.
Under us.
Yeah, and this we're kind of will be a work in progress. You know, this will change, but we really were anxious to get started. So yeah, we've been knitting a long time. We're gonna in this podcast we'll talk about knitting. We have crocheting. We spin. We rug hook.
Yep. All the above.
Yeah, and
We'll talk about our finished objects, our whips in progress, our hoes and mows and joes or whatever you talk about. I don't know.
exactly. Also, we have to talk first about our retreat we just got back
Oh
from.
gosh, yes. We had the time of our lives.
It was fabulous.
We went on the Knitting in the Rockies retreat with Fiber Folk, which included Amanda and Fiona from Knit Social and Tracy and Jody from the Grocery Girls hosting the retreat. Yes, absolutely. Am I doing that right?
Yeah.
I'm
Look
not
at us.
of the right generation
yeah,
to know
we're
how
good.
to do that.
But
we went to Canmore, Alberta, Canada, right smack dab in the middle of the mountains.
It was-
I mean, we looked out our
do you
hotel
have a picture?
window.
I can't find my
I do.
phone.
Yep.
We have to show you.
We looked out our hotel window and there was just mountains in front of us.
Yeah.
It was spectacular.
We stayed at the.
You talk while
what's
I'm
the
looking
name
for
that we
the-
stayed at?
The Malcolm.
The Malcolm. Oh my gosh, it's right near Banff, and we were lucky that it had started snowing. Well, not while we were there, but it had snowed just before we got there. And prior to that, it hadn't snowed in a bit. So it was picturesque. It was so wonderful.
You have to go up
real
close, okay.
Yeah. We got to show you a couple of pictures because, and they don't even do it justice, but it was fantastic. So go a little closer, closer. There you go. So that's
I don't know if you can see that or if
Yeah,
it's
just-
blowing out, but that's what we were surrounded by. Oh, there you go.
Isn't that
We were
fabulous?
surrounded by mountains like that.
Yes, it was so beautiful. And I have to say that one day it was, I don't know, 11, and with the wind chill, I don't know, it was below 0. And Laura and I decided to go into the hot tub outside on the roof. Well, it was an experience, I have to say. But
Couple of bathing beauties.
yes, and we had on our hats and little bathing suits.
I'm
and,
not showing you that picture.
Yeah. But it was very, 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 very fun. We had a great time.
We did.
So, yeah.
And thank you so much, Amanda, Fiona, Tracy, Jody. If you happen to see this shit show,
yeah. You
thank
guys
you
were,
so much for your hostedness.
Yes. They hostess with the mostest. They were so generous with their time and everything.
Yep.
It was just, we're going again next year. If
Absolutely.
that says anything. I'm excited about it.
We had a great time.
Yeah, we did. We really, really did. And what's the next thing we go to?
So the next thing that we're scheduled for
is
is
Knit Montreal. Are we doing that?
Knit City,
City,
Montreal. We're hoping to be able to go. We haven't actually gotten tickets yet or made any arrangements,
Right, but that's kind of
that
in the
is
books.
on our radar.
Yes, we talked to Max and Vincent. We went to their shop in Montreal, Les Gassins, and they were we were like, oh, we can't wait to come back. And they said, wait for Knit City, Knit City, Montreal. They said you should come then. So
And that's in May.
yeah.
Yes.
So we're really thinking about doing that. My daughter lives in Burlington, so it's not that far.
a couple of
from,
hours
yeah,
from Burlington.
2 hours, so we could stop in Burlington, visit, and then go and see the boys.
I'm still
and-
employed, so the thing that keeps us from things is the amount of PTO that I have or don't have at any
Right.
given time.
And I'm pretty lucky, I'm retired, and I do enjoy every moment of it, so just saying, Laura.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm a little jelly.
yeah, that's all right. You'll be there soon enough. That's
Soon
just 'cause
enough. I'm
older.
counting the days. 1,079 as of today.
Yes, yes, yes.
1,079 days until I turn 67, and that will be my retirement age.
That'll be here before you know it.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you know me, I've been counting down my retirement for decades.
Yes.
Literally. Like, I had an app on my phone. The app went out of, like it stopped working. I finally just found a new one, so I'm counting down again.
Yeah, yeah. And I can't wait. I can't wait because then we can play together all the time.
Yes.
Not that
We
don't-
do
we
try
do
to
a lot.
spend every weekend together doing, our crafts, whether it's knitting or hooking or crocheting. Oh gosh. And
All right, so you just have to meet my beast. This is Tango, and isn't he cute, everybody? And he loves yarn, and he's always into my yarn, and that's what
especially the expensive yarn.
I just picked him up from the floor because he was in my yarn. So yeah, that's
Was he
Tango.
really, or you
yes,
just
no,
saying that?
it's right here. Look,
Oh.
he's in the bag. Right
He
there.
does. He gets
He's
in the
my
yarn
whip.
and he's like a stealth bomber. He's really, really quiet about it. And he'll just kind of sneak in,
Yes.
take the ball of cashmere out of the
What about
bag.
he took it outside, my cashmere?
Yes, he did.
Ran it
and
around
then
the
he
backyard.
and Lucy, the other dog, played tug of war with it.
Yes, it was just.
Yeah.
It was just bad. So say.
They did that with a pair of underwear too.
Yes, they did. Yes, and not to be. I'm gonna pick the yarn up off the floor because he's gonna take it. And not to be gross, but he only likes underwear that have been worn. Just
Yep.
saying. Just saying.
So,
Anyways,
what's been on your needles, Gayle?
well, I will tell you. What is on my needles? Oh, I left it over there.
Okay.
Hang on, because I was just, Laura can start, and I'm gonna go grab mine because I was already knitting.
All right. Well, I brought quite a few things to share. Some of these things I have done many, many, many years ago, but they're some of my favorites. And then other things that I brought with me are things that I've done more recently.
Are we doing whips first?
Oh,
What's on your needles, you just said?
Yeah.
Oops, don't take my yarn, Tango.
all right. Where's my bag on my,
Hang on.
oh,
Here.
thank you. We're organized. All right, so what is on my needles that I have right here is it in here? Or did you just hand me the yarn?
Oh.
It's probably on the side of the
Oh,
chair.
yes, I see it.
We'll get it together. All right. So this sweater that I have on is called the Striped Sweater. It's by Andrea Mowry, and it is one of my favorites that I've made for myself. I also made the same sweater, get closer,
Oh, sorry.
the same sweater for my good friend Emmanuelle, who lives down in Texas. She used to live in Connecticut, but she's cold all the time. She's one of those people. And
We're
so
never
she
cold.
even wears the sweaters that I make her, even though she lives in, southern Texas. And so she has one. And then I still have enough leftover yarn that I told Gayle I'd make her one.
Yay.
So I have just casted that on yesterday, and here's just, a little bit of the neck going so far. Still on the short rows, so it's not
Yeah, hold it up close.
not very far yet, but we've got 3
So
colors
pretty.
going so far.
I
And
don't
soon
know.
enough, Gayle will have a striped sweater
It's
too.
blowing out a little bit, but there's some, look at that pink in there. And the green, and then this dark, burgundy color. Ooh, I'm so excited.
We'll also fix our lighting.
Yeah.
I know that the light's shining on my face here. We had intended to do this in the morning hours so that we could have natural sunlight, but that didn't happen. So we're now into the evening. It's like 5:30.
East Coast time.
East Coast time, and we're just getting around to it today. But we promised ourselves that we wanted to get started this weekend, so here we are. All right, so that's what I've been working on. How about
Okay.
you?
Well, I am doing, saying what I'm wearing. Can you look this up? It's a Thea Colman, because I wrote, look at all that, and then I didn't write down what the name of it was.
Of the sweater that you have
Yeah,
on?
so this sweater I made a while ago. I do love it. It's made with Harrisville Nightshade, and then this part here is a Spincycle. I did these on a size 6 US, 4mm. I would, like I said, this is a well-loved, well-worn sweater. I've had it for, oh my gosh, probably from when I owned the yarn shop, so it's been a while.
I'm probably not spelling her name right.
Thea
Yep.
Colman.
Oh, I put an E in there. Ravelry does
Yes.
not like when you spell things
No,
wrong.
but we'll tell you the name of it in a second. So while Laura's looking up the name of this, and it will be in the show notes below, I want to show you what one of the things on one of my whips. And this, I absolutely love it. I did get my yarn at Skane Yarn Shop in East Greenwich, Rhode Island.
Skane is our local yarn
Yep.
store here where we are in Rhode Island. Yep, and there go down. That's why they can't be down here. As much as you love them, they need to be banished to the upstairs.
So this is called Tapestry, and it is
This Thea Colman
It's a-
has a lot of patterns. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm going to be able to find it.
this. If not, I'll link it. I'll put it in. This is a sweater by Cheryl Faust. It is a bi pattern, and I am doing
Yeah.
mine with Freya.
She has 8 pages. I'm not
I'll
going to
look
find
for
it.
it. I'll
We'll put
find
it in later. Because
So
that's rude of me to keep looking down at my phone.
this is really, really fun. Both of them are Freya yarns. One is the ombre one, and it's really, really, the yarn is so soft. I love using this yarn. Isn't it nice?
It is nice.
Laura already made one, but I was
Yeah, I
kind of
didn't
late.
bring it with me though.
I was late to the game, but I did do a bit of it the other day. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty. I'm really excited about it. I love, 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 love the yarn. I'm using, I'm making the 3rd size, and I am using the recommended needles. My gauge came out good, and I did do a gauge, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, that's one of the things on my needles. What else do you have going?
So for on my needles, the one other thing that I have that's kind of a hoe, let me look in my pile here. Where did it end up? Where's my sock, Gayle?
I didn't touch it. It wasn't me.
Here it is. I got it. So this is a hoe. I've got one done and the other one's half done. But this is the Summer Lee Designs Color Work Cuff Club. I think I said that right. So you buy into the club, I think it was like $25. Summer Lee Designs, people are very familiar with her as a sock knitter. And for the $25 to join the sock cuff club, you get her basic pattern, and then each month you're going to get a downloaded cuff, color work cuff design. So it's a really good deal. You're gonna get, 12 color cuff designs, patterns, plus when I joined, which was in January, I also got a bunch of previous cuff work designs that she had also released. So you get a really good bang for your buck, so to speak. So I finished the one sock, and as I said, I'm on to the second sock. I'm about down to the heel flap. But that's mine, and I
What
used...
are you using?
This is Frankie Gray Fibers from the Grocery Girls. Jody Brown, she and her daughter have a business, Frankie Gray Fibers, and this yarn was from her Wicked collection. So it was a set of seven or eight,
yeah.
50-gram skeins, and all in like various colors of pinks and greens. Really, really beautiful yarn. So I'm using like a really light pink, a dark green for the lace work here, and then the variegated skein for the remainder of the foot.
Now, everybody knows that if Laura has something, I have to have it. And it kind of goes the other way, too, because we have to have what each other has. That's true. The way it is.
It is true.
So, when I saw that Laura had bought this beautiful collection of Wicked yarn from Frankie Gray, I decided, well, I have to have it too. And I also joined the sock club. So, yeah, I absolutely love the yarn. I did a little bit different. My cuff's a little different color. I used pink on this little scalloped part, and our variegateds were different colors.
Different dye batch.
Yeah.
So mine is a little bit pinker and Gayle's is a little bit greener.
I mean, they're
but the
really
same
cute.
idea.
Aren't they cute? Oh my gosh, I love them. So I only have one done as well. That's my little...
Have you started the second one yet?
No, I have not.
All
I have
right.
been remiss in that.
So those were my, oh no, I have one more whip.
And this is a crocheted whip.
Yes. So
we do love to crochet
many years ago, I started this project. It's called the Granny Stripe Blanket. The pattern is on Attic 24.
Oh.
And it's not on Ravelry. You have to go to Attic 24. The number's 24. And but you can get the patterns for free off of that website. And so this was a project that, like I said, started many years ago. It's been sitting in a bucket for, a while, a few years at least. And recently I saw Gina of, she used to be known as Skein Cocaine. I think that she's recently kind of changed her name up, but most people in the knitting community know her as Skein Cocaine. And but her real name is Gina, and she posted a picture of herself working on her granny stripe blanket, and I thought, I really need to get mine out. So I did.
It's
I got
so
it out
good.
the other day and started working on it again. And so, and it is pretty big, but it's not big enough yet.
Oh
But
my God.
if you can just maybe
You
hold
guys,
part
look
of
at
it.
this. This is so good. And Laura, this is all your end pieces from
These are
socks and
all end pieces, all
Look at
fingering
this.
weight
Like, look, it
of
goes
projects
on
that I have
and
worked on over the
and
years.
on
And
and on.
it's gonna be really, really good for snuggling on a cold winter's night, watching a good movie. I want to get it to be at least 60 inches in height so that, you know, it'll cover you from toe to
Yeah.
neck.
Isn't
And
it
the
beautiful?
width is really good.
And it
on it.
reminds you of all the things that you've done.
And so I probably have another 12 inches to go before I'll have it completed in the length, and then I'll probably
I
do
want
like a
this.
double crochet around the edge for
Yeah, even a
a
crab
border.
stitch would be pretty.
yeah, probably do like the double crochet and then the crab stitch
Yeah.
to finish it off.
Oh, so
So I'm
pretty.
considering that another work in project right now too,
Yes.
work in progress, because I did pull it out and I have been actively working on it.
Good
so
for
that's
you.
that.
Good for you, Laura. You've inspired me.
Because you have one somewhere too.
Yeah,
You have
I
to
do.
find
I
it.
have to find it. But that thing that we're gonna do with the ball.
Oh, we haven't told people about that yet. Here it is.
Oh,
All right,
all right.
so
This is
I
exciting.
have to tell this story.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I do watch a lot of podcasts, a lot of knitting podcasts, and not too long ago, I discovered these two women, Christy and Tracy. They're sister-in-laws, I believe. Christy is the sister of Tracy's husband. I think I got that right. So I think his name is John. John and Christy are brother and sister, and Tracy's married to John. I think that I've got it right. Anyways, they do a podcast together, and I fell in love with them from the first one that I watched. I've gone back and started watching them from, number one, and I'm up to about, 17 or 18 now. I think they've got like 30 some episodes out. I've, followed the story all the way through. Tracy has a grandkid now. It's like, you really get to know people's lives. Anyways, in the most recent episode that they posted,
What's the name of their podcast?
Wool and Wishes.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out,
Wool
guys.
and Wishes.
Check that out.
Really, really good, really knowledgeable. Kirsty, I believe, has, done college for textiles and fiber works, and, so just really, really knowledgeable and just really fun to, see what they're working on.
Nice.
So anyways, in the last episode that they had posted, because I've been watching the recent ones plus the last ones, they both talked about, I did the roll of the dice, and so I'm working on
I'm so excited
this.
about this.
So I sent them a message and I said, what are you girls talking about, a roll of the dice? And they responded and they said, we have a 20-sided dice, and we roll the dice and we line up our whips, and each whip has a number, and whatever the dice lands on, that's
1
the
through
whip.
20, right?
1 through 20. That's the whip that you're going to work on. So, Amazon, here comes Laura.
Exactly. I love
And
it.
look what I found. It's purple with
Bring
gold
it up.
lettering, and it's a 20-sided dice. And we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm stealing their idea, and
Isn't that cool?
we're gonna roll the dice. And I'm thinking for myself, I'm gonna roll the dice twice a week, so that I'm working on 2 different whips each week.
That's one way to get them done.
Yep, and then that way, and then you don't get bored either, because twice a week you're rolling the dice and you get to pick up something different. Or maybe you might roll the same number and you have to work on it some more. But chances are you'll probably get 2 different numbers each week. You'll get to work on 2 different whips each week, and eventually they'll get done.
I'm very
So-
excited. That was brilliant, ladies.
So we got
Brilliant.
this. The rest of the things that I ordered haven't come yet, because I kind of made a mistake. this is a whole story too. I found the dice, and then I thought, well, how are we gonna number our whips? How are we gonna know which bag is gonna be what number? So you know when you like go out to a fancy restaurant and they have coat check, and they give you one of those little circular things with a number on it? Well, I found them on Amazon.
Of course you did.
So I got us each a set of 20 numbers, and then I got a box of safety pins that don't have the coil on them, so we'll be able to slide that number right on the safety pin, put the safety pin right into the bag and put it on there, and we'll know what number it is. So, but here's the mistake I made. I recently, I have a good friend in Ohio who recently learned that she had diabetes, and so she's been really trying to, you know, like change her eating plan and learning to cook differently and low carb. Yep, my friend Jackie. And, you know, struggling with it a little bit. So I have another friend, Jane, who I used to work out with, and her sister-in-law is actually a food blogger and an author, and has written a book on like keto-friendly recipes, so all low-carb, no-sugar recipes. So I bought the book and sent it to her.
Oh, that was
and
nice.
I did that on Amazon, so I had to put her address in as where the thing was going to. The next time I bought things, which was buying these,
You didn't change it
I
back?
forgot to change the address. So Jackie got dice, numbers, and pins. And she's like, what
didn't
are
tell
you
me that.
doing? Well,
That's
it only just
funny.
happened.
Oh my gosh, that's
So she's
funny.
like, I got these weird things in the mail, Laura. So,
Oh, that's
anyways,
funny.
so they're coming. The pins and the numbers are coming. So we haven't quite gotten our bags all set up
Yeah,
yet
but
with
when
our
we
whips.
do,
But when we do,
we'll show
we're
you.
gonna, at least when we podcast, that will be one time of the week where we roll the dice
And we'll
and
show you
see
what we
what we
have
get
to work on. Yeah, it's pretty
So,
exciting.
so that was fun.
Yeah, that is very fun. That's a good thing. What else you have working on, that you're
So,
working on?
I don't have any other things that I brought as whips.
I have-
Do you?
Yes,
Okay.
and they're the, what was it, penny?
You got the penny gloves and the onling was what I wrote
Yes,
in our.
that's
So
what I
we are
have.
also learning how to do show notes. So again, we're really new at this. Our good friend Justine from Never Not Knitting RI came over yesterday and really helped us a lot with the technology side of doing this podcast. So kudos to you, Justine,
Yes.
for helping us out.
And putting up with us for a few hours.
And we're learning how to, you know, get the show notes done so that we know what we're talking about, and that you'll be able to, you know, go down below
Yes,
and see what we've talked
because
about.
God, we wouldn't know how to do it.
So thank you very much, Justine, for all that help.
Yes. So these are the penny gloves by Petite Knits, and I just started them, and oh my gosh, they're so sweet. I'm
Is
doing
that cashmere?
Yes, it is cashmere. It's by Lang, and I got this also at Skein Yarn Shop in East Greenwich, and it's cashmere premium.
So that's different than the cashmere light
Yes.
that I use.
Yes.
We forgot to mention that actually.
Yes,
But we will.
Yeah. So these here are really fun. First time I'm using. My friend Debbie was using these little tiny circular needles, like my friend Ray over at Needles at the Ready. And if you don't watch that podcast, you have to. It's Kevin and Ray, and they are Needles at the Ready. They're from Connecticut, and they are both wonderful knitters. Kevin dyes gorgeous yarn. They're Needles at the Ready, but Ray likes to do his socks on these itty bitty things. So between he and my friend Debbie, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go. And I actually liked it. I mean, it's, yeah, I didn't mind working on them at all.
Do
But-
you find it slower than
Yes.
the double points? I do too.
Yes.
So the first sock that I showed you, I did on a 9-inch
Picture.
circular as well, because I am on a mission about socks this year. I really want to find what is going to be my good go-to pattern. So, you know, what kind of needle do I like?
Right.
What kind of cast on do I like? How many inches do I want the cuff? What kind of heel do I like the best? And what's the best fit for the length of the foot?
Right.
All those things I want to kind of figure out. I've made a lot of socks over the years, and I only have one pair that I would really say, these are my favorite socks. And that yarn doesn't actually exist
That was
anymore.
Signature?
That was on
the round
round
yarn.
signature sock, and she doesn't carry that particular base anymore, but was a woolly wool, and they just fit my feet so good.
Yeah.
And I've not had that experience with any of the other socks that I've made. So this year is the year to figure that out.
Yeah. And this is the penny mitts. So they're fingerless. They take, with 3 skeins, you can get 2 pair of the mitts. So they're, they are $28 for a 50-gram ball, but it's all cashmere. And like I said, if you get 3 skeins, you can make 2 pairs. So I'm gonna make some in red and some in this beautiful magenta purplish color. So that's one of my whips, and seeing as you don't have any, I'll talk about my last one.
Yeah, you've got the
I have
Oning,
my-
is it?
yes.
Is that how you say it? Onling.
Onling, I think.
Onling.
So this is a sweater that my friend Lori was making, and I kind of fell in love with it. It's kind of basic, but so pretty, I thought. That little garter stitch detail on the sides and the sleeves. And this is how mine is coming.
And it's Onling by Onling Knits. And Onling Knits is in Denmark. When looking at the pattern, we didn't find a particular designer. It just said by Onling Knits. So I think if you were to want to find the pattern, if you put in Onling Knits, Onling, that you should be able to find it either on the website or maybe Ravelry has it, I'm not sure. But it's from Denmark.
Ravelry has it.
Okay.
So I'm using Fino by Manos, and I'm using Ito Sensi, and this is like a mohair kind of a thing, and this is so soft. Oh my gosh, I wish you could feel this. So I'm kind of, I did put it on hold for a bit. It was kind of in timeout while I made everybody a sweater for Christmas in my family, so that took a while. But
I don't remember you starting that.
Really?
No.
Yeah, it's really pretty though.
You must have done that in
that
secret
detail. I
and not
think
shared with me.
I'm sorry. See what I mean about we have to have everything the same, But feel that. Isn't that wonderful? Oh,
Really
God.
soft.
And I love the
Yeah.
color.
But it's soft like cashmere.
Yes.
It's that kind of soft.
Yes, and I'm using the recommended needle
Does that
size.
have cashmere in it? Do you
No.
know? No?
No,
It's
it's
just
just
super
the
soft.
super soft.
But it's all wool?
It's all wool.
Is it a
between
superwash wool or?
I don't, let's see,
Oh, woolly
I don't
wool.
think Sensi is, but this is, I can't even see. This, I don't think.
Yeah. We both have eyesight issues.
Yes, hand washed in cold water, so no, it is not a
Okay.
super wash. So, but I'm really excited about finishing it. Isn't the color fabulous? Oh my
It
gosh.
is.
Recommended needles, everything. I'm very excited about it because I love it. And so yeah,
Cool.
those are my whips that I have now.
Yep, so I think those are all of our whips. So let's move on to show some of our finished objects.
Awesome.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
All right. So I did bring some things just from my pile of finished objects that I've made over the years at home. Some of the things that were my favorites that I've had for a while, and then some things that I've done more recently. The first one that I want to show is, this is called the Zigzag Scarf, and it is on Ravelry. And it's made.
It's a bi pattern, right?
It is a bi pattern, and I made it with millicalorie, something, millicalorie, and it's like a variegated, they're small balls, and I use 6 altogether. And you use 2 at a time, so you want to use 2 that just have different colors in them. And what ends up happening is this.
Isn't it pretty?
And it just
Look
changes
how pretty.
and changes and changes.
Isn't that
and
beautiful?
you
And
can
look at the
absolutely wear this with anything because it's got so many colors in it that it just, you put it around your neck, you wear a black shirt underneath it, a white shirt underneath
I
it.
would love one, but I don't
It's-
want to make it.
And I started this the very first year that I went to Vogue Knitting.
Look at
That's when I started that. And it did take me a while because you do it on
that.
small
Like
needles.
a size 2 or something.
But it's one of my favorites.
It
I
is. It's
wear it all the
beautiful.
time.
Beautiful.
And I've had it for
beautiful.
years and it still looks just as good as the day it came off the needles.
That's really, really true.
So, okay, why don't you go?
Okay, so I just finished these, and the yarn was gifted to me by Laura Angel, and it's Woolens and
I
Nosh.
like giving gifts.
Yeah, she always gets me prizes. It's Woolens and Nosh. I did crank it on my wonderful Gerhardt Speedster.
Whose name is Scarlett.
Yes, and
You will meet her
at
someday.
some point. And the heels and toes were also part of the sock set. So I cranked these for my brother. I used a 64 cylinder, and then I did the cuffs. I did an afterthought heel.
Did you do 2x2?
I did do a 2x2
2x2?
rib. I did, and
Did you use
and
the
I
twisted German cast on or the
didn't.
regular?
I used a regular, but most of the times I use a German twisted cast on or the new Norwegian cast on.
I've started
also a
using
name.
that because I've got kind of thick feet,
Yeah,
ankles.
and Kevin and Ray love that.
Yeah.
I use that too. The needles at the Ready Boys, and then just the basic toe. And these are for my brother. And
He's gonna love those.
yeah, I think that these are really, really quite lovely. I really like them. And I like that when you do the afterthought, I'm sure you all know this, but when you do the afterthought heel, if you don't take out your yarn, so when you cut in, you cut one side when you do the heel. And then you have to take it apart. And then you'll use those stitches that you have put on, like a lifeline, let's say. And if you don't take out the last 2 stitches on either side, you leave them, like you don't pull them out of the, you don't pull the yarn out of it. So you leave them intact, you never get a hole when you pick up the gusset. It's kind of really cool. So,
You're holding the sock in front of your face.
sorry. So yeah, so I'm really, 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 really loving these, and I think he's gonna like them too.
Brother Ernie is very lucky.
Yes, he loves my socks. He always has them on. Oh my gosh, he's the cutest thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So those are one of my finished objects.
All right, so I have another, now this is kind of a staple, you know how some people say, I always have a pair of socks going? I always have one of these going, and this is called the Juniper Cowl. It is crocheted, and again, it uses up your ends. And it is the most lovely neck warmer.
Oh my gosh.
And again, so many different colors. You can wear it with anything, any kind of like a plain shirt. I don't think I'd wear my striped sweater in this, but you know what I'm saying. Like it has lots of different colors in it. And
You can use your scraps.
it's so easy. It's done with what's called a puff stitch. It is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry called the Juniper Cowl by Toni Lipsey.
Don't you
believe.
think it's a beginner kind of thing?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If you want to like dabble into some crochet,
And
if you
just,
don't.
again, this was made with scraps, and then I have another one, completely different colorway, that I've made with scraps as well.
And she made me one.
And I've made lots of people these, and I've made Betsy from the
Yeah.
yarn shop, I
Yeah.
made Judy from the yarn shop.
They're
They're just
really nice
so
gifts,
simple.
too.
And such a nice gift, a good way to use up your scraps, and really, I think, very, very flattering
Yes.
on anybody.
And what I like about those too is that they don't fall off. You know, it's kind of like the Shift by Andrea Mowry, those that are seamed up the back or whatever. They're just really easy to wear.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
they look good with, like you said, because there's so many colors with everything.
And literally, both of those I've made just using scraps.
Right, and now those are done out of fingering weight, but you could probably do it out of like DK or something, or it doesn't.
Right, you could
Right.
just adjust your hook size
Right.
and your
How many
number of
rows?
cast on. I tend to make mine a little bit bigger because I've got a thicker neck, but you know, someone like Gayle who doesn't have such a, you know, wide circumference, you can use less stitches or a smaller hook
Yeah.
to make your puff smaller. But you
Yeah.
could use any weight of yarn.
Yeah,
I just happen to
really,
use
really,
fingering.
really, really love that one. Let's see, what else do we have?
What about
Yeah.
what about your favorite
So
sweater?
this is my favorite sweater.
Or one of your favorites.
Yes, this is Winter's Beach Cardi, and it's by Andrea Mowry, and I used the Tweedy yarn from Hedgehog Fibers. And if you haven't made this sweater, I mean, this is really good. This is really, really good. It's so, so, so pretty. I mean, look at that in the back. And the Tweedy yarn is just scrumptious. Oh, I just love it. It's really, and it has pockets.
And did we decide that Tweedy yarn is hedgehog
It is
fibers,
hedgehog.
right?
I looked at it.
Okay.
And I have some in my stash. So, yeah, I love this. If you haven't made it, oh my gosh, you should make it. Like I said, this is in my favorites. This is my favorite sweater. I do love this sweater. And it's so soft too. The yarn is really beautiful. This was, the dye lot was 2022. And when they do this, they use all their scraps when they make the yarn. So like
I
there's a
think
bunch of
people
different-
send in scraps to
yeah,
them.
and there's a bunch of different things in it, like this pink thing here, like it's so.
They make the Tweedy part out
Yes.
of different scraps of yarn that have been
Yeah.
sent into them or that they have, you know, left over in their mill or whatever.
Yes, it's just fabulous.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Do you have another finished? Because
I do.
Show
Yep.
another, and
So-
then I will.
So these are all more recent knits that I've made. Now, I do want to kind of backtrack a little bit and share about the retreat a little bit more
Yes.
because I forgot to say
Oh
this.
yes.
So in getting ready for the retreat, now it had been months because you had to kind of sign up months ahead of time. And so I had two different goals in preparing for going to the retreat. I'd never been to the West Coast, was really, really excited about it. I love the cold weather. And so I wanted to have a different hat for every day that we were going to be there. We were going to be there Wednesday through Sunday. So I started on a mission to knit hats. And this was one that I did. This is
I
called the
love this
Rustic
hat.
Cabin Hat
Is that by Max?
by Maxim Sear.
Oh, I love that.
And there's a
Did you try
cowl. Yeah, there's a cowl that goes along with it. I haven't finished that yet,
Oh my god.
but that
This
was a
is
really
good.
fun knit.
This is good. Even on my curly top.
Yep.
It's cute, right? Oh my gosh.
So I did that one. Then you can be my model.
Look at my hair.
Then I did this one. This is called the Manhattan hat. And again, it's on Ravelry.
Oh, what is
And
that?
oh, looks like I made a mistake there. What'd I do there? Huh.
Oh, you pearled.
Yeah, I purled instead of knitted. Oops. Well, don't look at that.
My god, this is cute.
That's called the Manhattan hat.
Oh, that's cute, Laura.
And you can unfold it and wear it slouchy if you want.
I will show you that. Look at my hair. Hang on, guys. Oh,
Yeah,
shut
that's cute.
up.
Very cute.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I have a huge head, so I think the only person with the bigger head than me is Justine. I think so. And my son-in-law, Qui has a huge head too.
And then, I might as well just keep going
Yeah.
since I'm on the hat.
Yeah.
Then I made this
Sorry,
hat.
guys.
So this yarn is
Oh.
Harrisville Peace Fleece that I purchased at Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
Rhinebeck 2024.
Yep.
And it's woolly wool. It's a worsted weight, so it's nice and squishy and thick. And I thought, I want to make an antler hat. I've never made an antler hat before, and I want to make an antler hat. Well, I made the size large, and as you can see, when you unfold it, there's ribbing, and then you have to repeat this antler 9 times before you get to the decreasing. Well, it was a long knit. It took me a long time, a lot longer than I thought it would to make a hat, but
The
this
cables
hat
are pretty.
is
Oh,
awesome.
it matches your
It
sweater.
comes down
oh, I love
over
that.
your ears. It's like double thickness and it's worsted, so it's a really, really warm hat. And I have this pom-pom. Now, I don't think that Gayle mentioned this, but a few years back, Gayle actually was co-owner of a yarn shop called Love to Knit, and they sold these pom-poms from Love-A-Fur. And this is a Love-A-Fur pom-pom, and the pom-poms are fabulous.
Yeah, they're the best.
They have really, really good ties on them, you know, kind of like thick, so it ties good. I put a little button there to stabilize it.
Yeah.
You can take it off. They're washable. You know,
Is that the plastic thing that you bought?
Yeah.
All
I
right,
got
so
those
tell
off.
them about those because those
sure.
are fabulous.
Okay. So
These are great.
These are off of Amazon as well. And they're just little, they're like a pom-pom holder, I guess you'd call it. It's like a button.
Isn't that great? So if you don't want to use a regular
But it's got
button,
big holes so that, you know, like a regular button, sometimes you can't get
Right.
the things through.
How many came in a package?
Oh, a lot.
And they weren't expensive?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you should look into these because I was like so impressed so that your pom-pom doesn't, you know,
Yep, so you just
flail.
put it through like a button and then you tie it just like in a bow. Nice and tight.
This way here, when you wash the hat, you can take the pom-pom off.
Or let's say for some reason, you know, you don't want to wear the pom-pom that day. You can just take the pom-pom off. But that pom-pom is a really, really good pom-pom from Love-A-Fur. So,
Want to know a thing about pom-poms?
sure.
Okay, so the reason people started putting pom-poms on hats is it actually started with sailors. And when they were...
Is this going to be a dirty story?
No dirty stories. And when they were under, like I guess where you sleep or where you go and do stuff, the ceilings were low. And if it was choppy, their heads would hit the ceilings. So they would put pom-poms on their hats. True story. So, and that's how they started wearing pom-poms, so that it wouldn't smack their heads.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
My daughter went to Parsons New School in New York, and she told me the story. I guess they learned it in a class one day. I was
Wow.
like, oh my gosh, that's so freaking cool. But, so that's the pom-pom thing. I never knew either.
All right.
I have another whip.
Okay.
No, excuse me, a finished object.
Finished object, yes.
So this I just finished, and I have to say, shout out to Max. This is a fabulous pattern. Max, I just couldn't love you or Vincent
Max
anymore.
of Les Garçons.
Yes, and if you don't watch them,
Maxim Cyr is his last name,
CYR,
C-Y-R.
you have to go and check out their podcast, and it's Les Garçons.
Happy Hour with Les Garçons.
Yes, because they have cocktails. God love them. So
Good
this
ones.
is called.
We should have had a cocktail.
They're gonna next time.
All right.
For sure. And
Even if we
we'll be
podcast
like-
in the morning?
Yeah, we'll have a mimosa.
Sounds
There's
good.
always time for a cocktail. But this is called the Unbearable Sweater. And it has a cute freaking hood. It's a hoodie. And the little teddy bears, I don't know if you can make them out, but there's little bears there
And the
with little
flowers.
flowers. And I used I used British DK. I used Max's yarn and Vincent, and I have to say, it's not superwash. It's really like wool yarn, and it's so soft. It's so good. This
It's
will
next
last.
to skin.
Yes, absolutely next to skin. And I actually made it for my. This is a little story.
Uh-oh.
So over the holidays, at
I need a
Christmas,
drink.
yes, at Christmas we had my daughter here, and all my daughters, and my daughter Adriana, her brother-in-law came by, and I happened to be watching Happy Hour with Les Garçons, Max and Vincent, and Vincent had this sweater on. Well, Adriana's brother-in-law was like, "Oh my gosh, Toque." He's like, "Oh my gosh, I love that sweater. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful." So I said, I'm going to make that sweater for him. So he will be getting that this week. I just wanted to show it on this podcast before I send it off. But I would love to make myself one because I have to tell you, it's so, so, so good. So good.
And you did that, well, you knit quickly anyways,
Yeah.
but you did that
Very
really
fast.
quickly.
A couple of weeks, I want to
Yeah.
say. And it was done. And
But you were also working on it very monogamously.
Yes, yes. And I have to
Definitely.
say, I absolutely love it. I believe I will make another one for myself because I love it that much. So, Max, thanks for that great pattern. It
Nice.
was just fabulous. Yeah, yeah.
I have one more finished object.
Oh,
and
awesome.
then I still didn't get to my story that I wanted to tell.
Okay,
So I want to go back to that.
okay.
All right, so again, preparing to go to Canmore where it was going to be in the negative numbers, I
And it
figured
was.
I needed some really, really warm mitts. So I found this pattern. It's called Peyton, and it's a Malabrigo yarn pattern. And, oops, I'll get it on the
It's
wrong
Rasta,
hand.
right?
And it's made out of Rasta. So those of you who know Malabrigo Rasta, it's a really like bulky weight, nice, thick
I have a
yarn.
pair.
You can make a pair of these in, you got it on the wrong hand.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. You know, I would say in a day and an evening, to make both of them. And they're super, super warm and comfortable and soft. I made myself a pair. I made Gayle a pair. I made our
Vicky.
nail tech a pair.
Vicky has
So I really pumped out quite a few of those this winter. And again, great pattern. It's called Peyton, Peyton, by Malabrigo. All right, so now back to my story.
Okay.
This is a story going back to our retreat that we just went
Story
on.
of a lovely lady.
Yep.
Sorry.
So, in going to the retreat, I really wanted to do something special and make something for each of the 4 ladies that we're hosting as a thank you for the retreat and, you know, just for hosting. I've been watching Grocery Girls since
From
day one, and
When Tracy was in her kitchen.
yep, and they just actually said their podiversary is coming up, like it was this week or next week, and they've been doing it for 9 years. So I've been watching them for 9 years
Yes.
because I watched them from day one.
Yep.
So I went into our local yarn store, Skane Yarn Shop, and one very, very popular pattern that had kind of been going through the yarn shop during the gift giving season, whether it be Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever, but you know, the gift giving season when people are looking to make smaller items to give away to people. And one pattern that had been going around was a cowl pattern. Very, very simple 4x4. It's not a paid pattern. It's, you know, I think I cast on 112 stitches, and then you knit 4, purl 4, knit 4, purl 4 in the round. And I used 2 skeins of the Lang Cashmere Light, so
Yep.
similar to the yarn that Gayle showed earlier that she's making those mitts with, and made each one of the ladies a cowl. And they absolutely loved them. They remembered us because of it. You know, we gifted them to them on the very first night that we
They were good.
that we went.
They were good.
They took a picture with us. Let me see if I can find that and show the picture. I was thrilled. I was just absolutely thrilled at how much they loved the gift and how generous they were.
And they were,
You know,
so
with their
soft,
time,
too.
with talking with us, they were so thankful. Here I come with the picture.
Yeah, it was once again the best retreat. So fun.
And if you look closely, when
Let it adjust. It'll adjust.
I don't know if you can see, but they're each wearing the cowls that we made for them, and they were just so happy with them, and that really just tickled my heart.
Yeah,
So that was a fun thing to do.
it was very fun. Very fun.
And then the next thing that we have is just acquisitions.
Nope, we have
Oh no,
some
you got
spinning.
more. Okay. Oh, do your spinning.
All right, so we also spin, and
Gayle spins.
Laura does too, just not as much as me.
Or as good.
So I just finished this. It's 240 grams.
We're so crooked.
I know. I know.
We'll fix it next time.
And this is called Truffle. The colorway is called Truffle. It is repeatable, and it is created by LCB. So you can actually, I don't know if you guys can see that. You can go to their website, her website.
It'll be in the show notes below.
Yes, and you can go to her website and get it. But this is close to a fingering weight.
And that's what you spun.
But yeah, I spun this up.
Amazing.
And, oh my God, I just love it. So
Show it again. You didn't show it long enough.
it is pretty,
Isn't it gorgeous?
Like,
Like she made that, folks.
yeah. So now there's something called Frosty Pines by Isabel Kramer, and I can't believe I forgot my phone, but I have a picture of it. If you want to get it, it's Isabel Kramer, Frosty Pines. So now
Isabel Kramer has a million patterns
I
too.
put in Frosty Pines.
All right, let me see if I can find it.
So, you guys, I don't know. I'm going to show you the pattern, and then I spun this one too. So this is another. I cannot remember the name of this fiber. I did it. Oh gosh, just before Rhinebeck, because I brought it to Rhinebeck. I was going to look for a yarn to go with it. So. Once I show you this, Laura gets this pattern, but look at how good these go. I mean, it's
Is this
kind
it,
of-
the shawl?
yeah, that's it. So this is what I want to make with it. Definitely with this. This will be the main color. But isn't that good? That's so good.
So Frosty Pines by Isabel Kramer.
Right.
And we'll put it in the show notes below. I
So-
like saying that.
I like this together. I need 3 colors. So I don't know if this is good. What do you think, Laura? There's this.
I like the pink with it, but I don't like that with it.
So then there is, or I don't know if I did this, but you don't like this color, period.
No, I don't. To me, this leans pink,
Yeah, me too.
not yellow. So that's why I don't. I don't dislike that color.
I need
just
one
don't like
more
it with
color to
that.
put with this.
The
Maybe
brown
I'll
to me,
get a
like a
tan.
beige or an oatmeal,
Yeah, yeah, but I love these two
or
together,
even
right?
a different shade of pink, because this really has a lot
See,
of
this
pink
has brown
tones
in
in
it
it.
too.
Yep, and orangey.
Yeah.
But I don't like that color with
Yeah.
this. This
I
to
think I
me,
need like a tan
needs
color.
either something oatmeal-y or
Yeah.
a different shade of pink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is another hand spun that I just finished. And this is also really fun. I balled it up because I wanted to see what it looked like. I don't know. So that's the spinning I've been doing.
All right.
Yeah. Then we had to buy stuff when we went to the knitting retreat.
Yes, we did.
So,
So Do you want to share your stuff first?
Sure. So I went to Frankie Gray Fibers and I bought this.
We actually both bought that. I
Yes.
just forgot to bring mine with me. But
But
the same sock
one.
set
Isn't that pretty?
for
Oh my God,
Valentine's.
look at those.
Even though Valentine's is
It
past,
doesn't matter.
we're gonna make Valentine's socks with our colorwork cuff club
Right.
pattern.
And then I got a bunch of minis from Frankie Gray. Like, look at these
for
colors.
heels, toes, and cuffs.
Yeah, for that,
Just in general.
for the knit along that we're doing, not knit along, but for the cuff club.
Yes, because we needed 6 colors. That's right.
So this is 2, 4, 6. Those are my 6 colors that I will put in my cuff.
Of the February sock.
February sock, yeah. But look at how pretty they are. Oh, I just love her colors and her saturation and oh my, look at that pink. Oh
I think
my
that one's
gosh.
called Popular
Ooh.
from Wicked. That was one of the ones from the Wicked
Oh
set.
yeah, and speaking of that, here's some of the Wicked sets. Now, I took a couple out. I took 1, 2, 3 out to do, so 2, 4,
So it was 8 altogether
yeah,
then.
8 altogether. I took the pink out, I took one of the variegated out, and I took a light pink out. So, but yeah, this is really good. I don't know if she has any more,
And
but you
those
can
were
look.
50-gram skeins.
Yeah.
Not just 20, but 50,
Correct.
which was really, really nice.
Yes, there's 231 yards.
And
in
I
each
know
one.
for me, I plan on just keep putting the yarns together in different combinations
Right.
to make socks out of that set.
Right.
So
should
not
push
only,
over more.
not only the ones that we've got going currently, but to just put other combinations of that yarn
Right.
together to make other socks as well.
Yep. And Spincycle did a collab with the Grocery
Yes.
Girls, and Laura gifted me this skein. And if you watch the Grocery Girls' newest podcast, they have some items that they made with this.
Yes.
A hat and a
A cowl.
mittens,
sweater.
Oh, it's the sweater.
Tracy's sweater was to die for.
Yeah, so
I
this
forget the pattern, but if you check out their podcast, she talks about the pattern and who the designer is.
Yeah, that's very, very good. Very good yarn.
And then I had another acquisition, and this one is from, this was kind of a special buy. One of the vendors that was at the mini marketplace at the retreat that they had, and the Grocery Girls have talked about them a lot on their own podcast, and they did a special kind of limited edition. The vendor is Orange Avocado, and they are a jewelry maker. And they collaborated with Tracy and Jody and came up with a limited edition bracelet for the retreat. So they were selling these at the retreat,
I'm
and
sad I
it's
didn't get one.
amethyst. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I should come close.
I am sad I did not get one. I wonder if I could still order it.
I bet you could. I bet you could reach out to Orange Avocado.
That's what I'm gonna do, because I'm very sad I don't have one. I want a remembrance.
So
Yeah.
I think you can see that. And then the other thing that was really nice, I have
does it say
a
on
gold
the
bracelet
tag?
on as well. It says their name, Orange Avocado, on the tag.
Nice.
And it's all like sterling silver and amethyst, semi-precious stones, all in kind of purples and grays. And the other thing that was really nice was that once I knew that they were going to have this as a limited edition item, I have a very big wrist. Typically, I
Go with
cannot.
your very big heart.
Yeah. I cannot typically go into just a jewelry store and buy something off the rack. It never fits. Because usually the largest one that you can find is about 8 inches, and I need about 8.5 inches. And I don't like things tight, so I'm never ever able to just buy something off the rack. So I texted the woman, And she was so
Very responsive, right?
responsive right away and gracious, and said, absolutely, I can custom make one a little bit bigger for you. We negotiated the price, and I went home with a beautiful bracelet.
Yeah,
and I
and
couldn't be happier about it.
I'm kind of jelly.
Yay.
I think I'm gonna have to reach out to them and see if they can still do one.
And I'm a purple girl. If you know me,
Yeah.
that's my color palette, purple. And the fact that it's all kind of purple and green colors and gray, I just love it. I wear it every day. I take it off at night so I don't mess it up. And
Is it easy to clasp and unclasp?
it is because she gave me plenty of room.
Nice.
So I could probably even put it into the second one
Right.
and still be okay, but I put it on the biggest one because I like it loose.
I know you do.
So, but I'm really, really happy with it, and I love it.
Well, we're gonna talk about one more thing. If we have time.
Yeah.
So Laura and I
Uh-oh.
started probably 5 years ago now. I started rug hooking.
I'm not sure what we're talking
Rug
about.
hooking.
Oh, okay.
So I started about 5 years ago, and I was like, I had not known a thing about rug hooking, but I had seen a piece, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really would think I would like to do this. So never having been to a class or done anything, I went and bought everything that you needed for rug hooking, and I bought not just the middle of the line, I had to get the top of the line.
And she went all by herself.
Yep.
Didn't invite me or anybody.
No, I went all by myself, and it was a rug school in Ringe, New Hampshire. I knew nobody. And it's funny, I said to my kids before I went, I said, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know anybody, and I don't have any friends there. They said, Ma, really? You'll have friends, but like before you leave, they'll all be your friend. So,
Which is so true.
I did end
People
up.
just gravitate to Gayle. Gayle is...
I'm a people person.
You're a people person, but, you know, people just love to be around you. You're funny, you're energetic, and,
Well, I like peeps.
you know.
So we started rug. So after I was doing it for a bit, I said to Laura, why don't you come with me to rug school? She said, I don't rug hook. I said, well, that's all right. You can just come with me. We'll enjoy the cabin because it's on a lake and they have these rustic cabins with fireplaces.
So that part intrigued me because
So,
I
right.
love cabin life.
Yes.
And just, you know, vacation and being with friends. And
Yeah.
so I went and I did not hook.
She did not hook. She sat there while we were hooking
And knit.
But she caught the bug.
I did.
So Laura is now rug hooking as well. So you see these crafts that we have between knitting and spinning and hooking and crocheting.
Take a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. And but I'm going to show you a piece that I'm working on because it's small and I can kind of maneuver.
And then
it.
we can show our bigger pieces.
Yeah, we'll show
next
bigger
time.
ones next time. But this is just kind of a little intro into it in case there's any hookers, rug hookers. So Laura, if you grab one side.
Yep, absolutely.
And this is the,
Wait a minute. Which way is up?
let's see, the pomegranate goes this way, so that way.
Okay.
So this is the piece that I'm working on now. And,
Isn't
so
that beautiful?
it is kind of nice, isn't it? So each one, you probably can't see it, but if for those people that don't hook, this is actually wool, like you would use
wool
for clothing.
material.
And you cut it into strips with the wool cutter,
We call them worms.
right? The worms are the skinny little pieces.
So it looks like a piece of yarn, only but flat, and it's like boiled wool.
Right. And then you have something that looks like a crochet hook, and that's how you hook it. I have a wonderful teacher, Betty McClintock, and yeah, so my next rug that I'm starting is 90 by 78, I think, so it'll probably take me about 3 years. This I've been working on for about a month, and hopefully I'll be finished within the next couple of weeks. When I finish it, I'll show it to you all, but
I'm on my third rug now.
yeah.
I finished one. It still has to be finished, like the edging
Right.
needs to be done. The second one is almost done. and then the third one is about 80% done.
Yeah.
So
It's addicting like knitting,
it is,
you know.
but you also need, you need a good chunk of time to
Yes.
just sit down and do it, because it's slow going. It's one stitch at a time. It's one hook at a time.
Exactly.
Just like knitting, it's, one stitch at a time, and it is slow going. And even a small piece like this, does take a lot of hours.
Yes.
So it's a lot of hours, a lot of love, a lot of work goes
Right.
into each
They're
individual
heirloom
piece.
pieces,
They are.
I've given some to my daughters, and I'll show you pictures of them next time, but I did want to throw in a little bit of rug hooking because it's another of our passions, and it's painting with wool, it's kind of fun. You can be as creative or not as creative as you want, but so.
And the different types of wool that you use.
Yeah,
like I really like using what they refer to as textured wool. So if you went into a fabric store, it would be the plaid that you see, or herringbone, or maybe a looser weave with different colors in the warp and weft. And when you use those types of wool, it kind of does the painting for you.
Yeah, it does a lot of dimension.
So you can kind of outline and fill, and then get lots of dimension.
Yeah.
And kind of a difference in tones.
Yeah, just
throughout the
really
piece.
beautiful.
So
really
for somebody
beautiful.
like me who is a little bit newer at the hobby, that really helps to make the piece look a little bit more sophisticated, which,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and if, is there a way that if they have any questions, they can ask us?
So, we have a Google account associated with the website, which is the yarn room shenanigans at gmail.com.
Yeah, so if you have any questions on anything we've shown.
And you could send an email to that, and we'll keep an eye on it. So if anybody is interested in reaching out to us, it'll be the yarn room shenanigans at gmail.com.
Yes.
And it will be in the show notes.
You love it. That's because Justine
That
just
magical
showed us.
place down there.
Wherever, because everybody would do that, and we're
Right.
like, wait, where is it? So yeah, we're getting pretty good in our old age.
Yep. So this is our first time. Please excuse any of the
getting
flub
up
ups or
and
whatever.
down and
Hopefully we'll get a little bit more smooth at it as time goes on. But hopefully you've enjoyed meeting us for the first time, and we plan on getting back here. Our goal will be every 2 weeks. Depending on life interruptions, travel or whatever. But that will be our goal, and we'll also start throwing the dice to get working on some of our whips.
and then we'll even maybe do some knit-alongs and prizes. I love doing prizes, so I would love to do all of that.
We'll get into the swing of things, and
Yes.
any comments, ideas, please like and subscribe.
Yes.
All those things that you're supposed to do.
Also, check out Needles at the Ready. Check out
The Grocery Girls.
The Grocery Girls.
Woolen Wishes.
Happy Hour with Lagos on. And so please.
And Skein Scoop.
Oh yes, Skein Scoop
is our local yarn shop,
And
and then also Justine is Never Knitting RI.
Never Not Knitting.
Never Not Knitting
Never
RI.
Not Knitting RI. So check out our friends, and like Laura said, if you like us, please hit subscribe and like us.
And ring the bell, right?
Yeah.
Ring the bell is a thing.
You can ring my bell. Ring my bell. Oh,
All right.
also, I want to make one shout out before we go.
Okay.
Hi to Winsome
Yes, and hi to
to
Danielle and Bethany.
and Danielle. And
Yes,
we
and
have-
and Aloha Annie. Got to say hello
Yes.
to Annie too.
Yes, aloha.
And Winsome.
Annie.
Those were
Our
they
gal
were the
pals.
girls that we sat with at dinner time, that we really got to chat it up with and get to know. Danielle and Bethany are young
Twins.
twin
27-year-old, cute as a button.
and love to knit.
And we'll be sending you a box, ladies.
Yes,
we
we
did not
will.
forget.
Winsome is
I just love
in,
her.
you
The
know,
Brooklyn
she's a
girl.
Brooklyn girl.
Very snazzy.
Traveled on her own.
Yeah.
You know,
Good girl,
force to be reckoned
yes.
with.
Takes care of her mama.
Yep.
Just a good
People.
girl.
We
Yeah.
met a lot of good people. People that we
Liz.
both feel will be lifelong friends.
Liz.
Yes, Liz from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh, we met.
Aloha Annie was from Washington.
I think so.
I want to say around Portland, but I don't think.
Portland.
Was it Portland?
Yes, Portland.
So yeah, just met so many nice people that we know we'll see again, whether
Yes.
it's at Knit City Montreal or back in Canmore. We know that we're gonna, or Rhinebeck, we know that we're gonna run into these people in
Yes.
the knitting community, and that's you know, the really special thing about doing this is that you meet people from all over.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, so till next time.
All right.
Right?
It's a wrap.
Our Wiedersehen. Isn't that goodbye or something?
I think so.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye everybody.